It is finally time for me to talk about the two Zelda Switch 2 editions. I've been very excited to dig into this. I feel like every time I look into it, there's another little thing to see. I'm not even sure if I've been exposed to all of the just different new features and stuff. Still just kind of marveling at just the visuals that I've seen so far. So I thought I'd do something a little different here. I'm gonna watch this little overview trailer. You'll see my live reaction, and I will kind of pause as we go along to talk about the things that I see. Will that be good because you can see my reaction, or will that be annoying because I will be pausing and I will be interrupting what they're saying the whole time? I don't know. But you got to try new things, and I figure you've probably all seen this already. So whatever. We'll just go. We'll just go bit by bit. Here we go.
Upgrade your adventures in Hyrule on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom games will both have Nintendo Switch 2 editions. Jump back into the adventure, now with enhanced resolution and frame rates.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
They
Oh, it's
both
so
support
clear.
HDR, which makes the image more vibrant, and they have smoother, higher definition graphics.
It's so okay. So just to pause for a moment, it really is unreal. Like it really is just like looking at at like mods. 4K texture pack mod or whatever. Like enough times I have seen YouTube videos where people emulate the games and make them look like this. That seeing it and seeing that it's real, seeing just that, and I love that they show the forest here, because that was the famously difficult area to run. Although even then, YouTube encoding is kind of screwing this up. But yeah, that's a shot right there. See clear all the way down, and it is true that like seeing it this clear, it does make it more obvious that it's a last gen game. It sort of reveals how old the tech is. It kind of reveals its oldness in a certain way. But I still vastly prefer it. I still, anytime you put a little fuzz on something, lower resolution, you kind of fudge it a little bit more. You can't see the finer details, but I prefer to see the finer details. I think this is really terrific. And even now, I haven't spent that much time looking at this footage, and even now, just seeing it and just like buttery smooth 60 FPS, it's really unreal.
Jump back into the adventure.
It's so
now
cool.
With enhanced resolution and frame
and
rates.
HDR, just because why not?
They
Did not
both
expect
support
Nintendo to do that.
HDR, which makes the image more vibrant, and they have smoother, higher definition graphics.
The water looks great.
Plus, the load times when warping are much faster,
please
helping you
and
explore
thank
Hyrule
you.
with ease.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
If you already own the Nintendo Switch
Can we get a replay? Could I just get a replay on that?
times when warping are much faster, helping you explore Hyrule with ease.
That's lovely. That is positively lovely. Yeah, the load times. They were a pain, weren't they?
If you already own the Nintendo Switch games, your save data can be carried over.
Look how clear it is. Just look how clear and like colorful too. I'm not even watching this on a 4K display. I'm watching this on my 1080p screen like I have with all of this stuff. I can't even imagine. And it's going through YouTube encoding, which always chops everything up. I cannot fathom how it's going to look on my 4K TV. I can't.
If you already own the Nintendo Switch games, your save data can be carried over. On top of
Just
that,
unreal.
you can now create 2 manual save data files.
Whoa,
so
really?
Feel free to start a new game without worrying about losing your old data.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. That is cool. But I will say, we're getting into quality of life territory here, and we're kind of having a repeat of the Breath of the Wild DLC situation, where it's one thing to give us new content, but it's another to introduce quality of life features. Because now Switch 1 owners, like, there's no reason why they should not have multiple save files. That's not the sort of thing that you sell, you know? So I really do like to see things like this, but yeah, not making it available. And I know this isn't even the worst example. I know there's like the Zelda Notes thing, not allowing Switch 1 owners to have that. It's a bit of a bummer. It really is. And I know it's not as bad here because apparently you get these for free if you're an expansion pack member, which is really cool. But there will be some people who are not and who are not ready to buy a Switch 2. And it's just like, well, thanks. I could use an extra save file. Don't package save files. Like, just, that should have come standard. Yeah, that is a shame.
Free to start a new
It's cool,
game
though.
without
It's
worrying
good to
about
have
losing your
multiple
old
save
data.
files. Why weren't there before?
And introducing Zelda
Yeah, here we go.
Notes,
I need to see
a
more
new
about
feature
this.
that can help you get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule. It's a game-specific service found in the Nintendo Switch app on smart devices that's exclusive to the Switch 2 editions of these games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It goes without saying, but this is a really cool feature. It's not quality of life. You could argue, oh, this is additional content, but like, it's not really. It's not like a new world or something. It's literally right there in just like in the app. You couldn't have put this in the original, whatever. Just a little bit of a bummer for those people, but whatever. The idea, I'm still kind of amazed by this idea. They're basically introducing new lore and character building into this. You know, it's like the idea of finding Zelda's notes in Breath of the Wild when you go to Hyrule Castle, go to her room. They've really just taken that and expanded it really dramatically. I imagine that they understood that that was kind of a magical moment for people who kind of stumbled upon it. So yeah, they're taking it to the max.
It's designed to provide
Oh, Nintendo Switch Online membership is not required to use Zelda Notes. You do, I'm pretty darn sure you still have to have the newer versions. You have to have the Switch 2 editions. But it's good to see that you don't have to have NSO, at least. Okay.
a more streamlined gameplay experience. Let's go over some of the new features you'll find in Zelda Notes.
Whoa. Whoa. That's a bunch of stuff. Whoa. That's like a bunch of stuff. Photo studio, global play data. You can like compare data with other players. Daily bonus. Oh my goodness. You're turning this into a whole thing.
Sometimes, it can be tough to locate shrines you haven't cleared or Koroks hiding around Hyrule. That's where navigation
the
comes
water.
in handy.
Drown him. So is it just for free? You
Guidance
get to just see them?
activating. Proceed north.
Voice
It'll
guidance.
provide a helpful, voiced guide.
Your destination is north of here and close. Your destination is above.
That's crazy.
Your destination is nearby.
That's
You have reached your destination. Guidance.
all right. Nintendo, they're... I don't know how they do it. I really don't know. I mean, you know, you take a million monkeys and a million typewriters and eventually they'll write Tale of Two Cities or whatever. I don't know what it is. But like, take all of just the collective, just humankind and even like run the simulation 1,000 times. In what simulation does just one of these, just any of us imagine, hey, what if they came up with an update where your phone could navigate you to a Korok like it's Google Maps? I don't and you don't even have to look at it. It's voice navigation. That's just really, really crazy. I don't know. Also, are they just giving you the locations of Koroks? Like it's just there. You don't have to like earn it or something. That's interesting. I could definitely see it for Tears of the Kingdom, you know, Breath of the Wild. Maybe they wanted us to struggle, but now it's like, yeah, just giving me though. I'm not gonna hunt them all down.
Evidence deactivating.
Give it a try. As
You can
search
do
for
it with
sorts
all
of
that
things.
different stuff? So it's like the little like locatey thing from the Sheikah Slate, but like on your phone, and it talks to you. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. That's really crazy. Okay, here we go.
When you visit certain places, you can hear voice memories.
It comes through the
My
voice?
study. I found a silent
It's
princess
voice
in the corner
acted.
of this desolate room. How many years?
These are stories that weren't in the original games.
That's so
Voice
cool.
memories can be located using navigation.
Your destination is nearby.
It just says it to you.
The
That's so
dueling
cool.
peaks. I shudder to think of what would have happened if Link hadn't led everyone here.
Plus, in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you won't just hear stories from Princess Zelda.
This altar is considered the most holy place in
Whoa.
the temple.
You can look forward to hearing stories from 2 other characters as well.
Is this the afterlife?
What? Hold on. 2 other characters. Okay, yeah, it was Raru, but Koga? It's gonna be like a little mini story with just Koga in the depths. Come on. That's so weird. That's so weird.
In The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you can freely create your own vehicles and weapons.
All right, so we saw this, yeah. Really
But
cool, really
have you ever wanted
convenient.
to share your creations?
How big of a
With
creation can
Autobuild
you
sharing,
save?
You can create QR codes to share blueprints with others, even on social media.
That's so neat.
When receiving a QR code, you can scan it with Zelda Notes and use materials to auto-build the creation in your game.
That's nuts. People gonna share crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't know how big these can get, but wow. Item sharing.
Another thing you can do with QR codes is gift in-game items to other players.
No way. Really?
For example, when gifting a sword or some meat, you can create a QR code,
Or a meat sword?
then another player can receive it in their game via Zelda Notes.
Wow. I mean, it would be nice if you could just, because, you know, Switch 2, it's got like the social stuff now. It'd be nice if you could just kind of pull up the chat menu and like send an item that, like connect to your friend that way instead of sharing a QR code. It's a little awkward, but still you can share items, which is great because if you're like, I just need this one thing or this material and I don't want to go hunting for it. Like I didn't want to. I enjoyed hunting down materials in the first game. And like grinding for them, you know, grinding dragon parts or whatever. I didn't want to in Tears of the Kingdom. I did not have the patience. So the fact that you can just... So I didn't get, like, most of the armor I wanted. But now you can share stuff? That's really cool. It is just convenient.
With Photo Studio, you can edit photos taken in-game. By sending your pics to Zelda Notes, you can crop them and decorate them with stamps.
Oh, fun.
Or add a QR code to share your creations.
Well, hold on. What other stamps? Is that it?
Code
Is
to
it just
share
like
your
the logo?
creations.
You gotta give us more stuff than that. What?
And decorate
No, because you've got title logos and then icons. Okay, so maybe there will be more. You gotta put like little silly stuff. You gotta give us more options than that.
them with stamps.
That is cool though.
Or add a QR code to share your creations.
It's hold on. A QR code to share your photo? Why don't you just share the photo without the QR code in it? You already have the photo. You could just send that, right? I don't get it. QR code is sampling, cannot be used in-game. Darn. I like that
My
picture.
Play data keeps track of different records since your
Cool.
adventures began, such
Oh,
as
that's
the number
fun.
of enemies you've defeated.
That's
You
fun.
can even earn in-app medals based on your records.
Oh, I heard about this.
Aim for new medals and
Achievements?
goals, like total distance traveled or rupees collected.
All right. All right. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not Nintendo introducing like an account-wide achievement system. It's through a phone app, but I don't know. It's a step in the right direction, especially for games this big. Achievements mean a lot to some people, you know? That's cool. Earning a number of rupees. It gives you something to do, you know? These games are a little aimless. This does give you a lot more to do. That's cool.
With global play data, you can see where your records rank within the global community.
That's crazy. Shrines of Light cleared.
On top of comparing your data
Whoa.
with other players around the world, you can also see your gameplay trends.
Like how many you've defeated? Whoa.
Once
That just,
per day,
that just becomes like a little game in itself. Who can defeat the most moblins? Across the globe, the 20 million people who've bought this game. That's so fun. That's so fun. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed here. When they announced all these extra features, I was like, wow, that's cool. And then I like heard about some of them and I was like, wow, they're really doing a lot more than I thought. And then here, this is even more than I realized. This is really a tremendous amount of really fun little things.
once per day,
Wait. Soldier Construct ones. I thought it was like is what?
once per day, you can spin for a daily bonus. You'll be granted
Really?
whichever in-game effect it lands on for the day, so give it a try.
They really just went all out. Whatever they could come up with, they threw it in there.
Compatible amiibo accessories can be used to receive in-game items. Zelda Notes keeps track of each amiibo you scan. When you scan an amiibo 5 times, you'll get an additional bonus use of that amiibo that you could normally only scan once per day.
Wow. There's an innovation.
Upgrade your adventures in Hyrule on Nintendo Switch 2. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 editions. If you already own the Switch games, you can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 editions by purchasing upgrade packs. Or access the upgrade packs at no additional cost with a paid Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership.
I hope everyone
Plus,
knows about that. I can
these
see
new
people.
amiibo figures will also be
Ooh,
available.
there are new ones.
If you scan them in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the
No,
Kingdom,
hold on.
they'll be available.
Hold on. Awesome. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Side-on amiibo, come on. Cool.
If you scan them in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you might receive a paraglider fabric.
He didn't say game. New whoa, that was sudden. Wow. Just wow. I mean, they're really, they've really updated these games. They've updated the heck out of these games. And yeah, I mean, even just the performance stuff, that's enough. That's more than enough. That's already really impressive. But that's so many cool features. That's, yeah, really just a tremendous amount of new stuff. And, yeah, it's, you know, it's almost a shame they weren't able to somehow incorporate the new social stuff, the game chat. But if anything, this is them modernizing it in a different way. The whole, like, app thing. I get the feeling they're going to be doing this for a lot of apps. They're really going to want the Switch app to be a much bigger part of the Switch 2 playing experience. And perhaps that was inevitable and obvious. It seemed likely that they would do such a thing going forward. It's just surprising to see it here in this like weird specific case. I'm just like introducing all of these new features, phone features, like mobile game features to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And then just a bunch of thoughtful stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. Both of these are available at launch. Just about everybody owns them. It's a really huge amount of the Switch playing population owns these games. So like gives people incentive, at least a little bit of incentive, especially if you're an NSO member. It's free. So there you go. You know, you got Mario Kart on day one, but then you also have like the two biggest, most impressive Switch 1 games running really great and with just a bunch of fun features to just play around with, you know? Nothing that radically changes the game, but it's definitely enough to just get you to boot them up again. I know I will. And now, of course, they give you the option to start a new file, so you can start a new file with all of this stuff. Experience it all again, looking this good. Yeah, I don't know. It is surprising and kind of impressive. And surprising. And very surprising. And cool. So there you go. That's the new Zelda stuff. Switch 2 edition. I really honestly love Breath of the Wild. Really torn on Tears of the Kingdom, but whatever my opinions about these games, I can't wait to play these new versions. I'll probably stick with just Tears of the Kingdom. Just because that's the newer game. It's got more going for it. It's got the auto-build stuff. But yeah, at the very least, I can't wait to boot it up. I don't think I'll start a whole new file, but I can't wait to boot it up and just experience this. I'm not even sure if I'll like go around and look for all of the notes. At the same time, though, like, what a cool new thing. Even if you don't start a whole new file, just booting it up to just do that. If anything, that's just a little bit of content right there. It's just like, hey, why don't you boot up your games and just look for all the notes? What a fun and like slow and kind of contemplative journey, you know? It's such a big world and it's already so relaxing to explore. But now you have these little like diary entries to look for. I think it is very, very clever. So yeah,